Today I pose a question. Are you prepared to venture into the dark, the strange, the macabre, the unknown, and sometimes weird? Are you prepared to venture deep into the paranormal? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Into the Paranormal podcast. I am your host, Kevin Leonard. Corey Beam is on vacation, but with me today is Tracy Watkins, also of the Coastal Atlanta Paranormal Association, my lovely girlfriend,
Oh,
as well as the community manager of Kappa.
of the community.
And today is a milestone. Some may think it's a small milestone, but it is a milestone nonetheless. It is episode number 10. We hit double digits of the Into the Paranormal podcast. So, good Saturday morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm glad to be here. My
That's
very
good.
first podcast.
It is. It is Tracy's first time on camera, first time on audio, also other than, investigations or whatnot. So welcome. I'm glad to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
So yeah,
I wouldn't be here if Corey wasn't here.
yeah, he's out seeing the world, in New Orleans and whatnot. Oh man, we got to get back to New Orleans.
Yes, we do.
New Orleans was great.
So much fun. You have to go. If you haven't been, you have to go, and you have to go during Mardi Gras to really, really experience it.
Yeah, and get a beignet.
Get a few of them.
I want to investigate in New Orleans.
Oh, I think everybody would like to do that.
Yeah, there's a couple of places I want to investigate in New Orleans. I want to go to Myrtle's. I know that's not New Orleans, but I want to go to Myrtle's Plantation. Yeah,
Forgot what part of Louisiana that's at.
that is in. I blue screened. I sound horrible now, but I blue screened. Starts with an F. Yeah. Yep. I blue screened.
We'll
Don't
figure it
remember.
out.
Yeah, you guys know Myrtle's Plantation. I want to go there. I want to investigate. Haven't been, but we were close. We were right down the road. New Orleans is, what is it, like an hour or so from Myrtle's?
Yeah. We just ran out of time.
Yeah, there's so much to do.
So much.
And you got sick when we went.
I did. That was 2020.
Yeah,
I might have been the first case of COVID or something. I don't know. Before we even knew what COVID was, I got really sick. But I got better so fast that
yeah,
I don't know. It was like a 24-hour thing.
yeah. But it the last day that we were there, and it ruined the closing
I mean, I
part.
still tried my best to have a good
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
We did a ghost tour.
yeah,
We ate really good food, which is what I wanted to do. I had a drink. Everything was fine.
yeah, yeah. And I want to say that was actually my first ghost tour. Was it?
Really?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. A lie. We went to Savannah for your birthday, and that was technically a ghost tour because we went to Sorrel Weed
Tour
House.
of the house and a little bit of outside, yeah.
Yeah, but that was like my first walking ghost tour. So that was fun. I don't really
Yeah.
do the ghost tours, you know. I mean, they're fine if that's what you do. That's cool. Not knocking it, but it's just not really my thing. But I believe that was my first walking ghost tour. If I went on another one, I was younger, but
I don't know why we don't do that more often. I mean, it's a good history of the paranormal activity in a
Mhm.
town if you just want to learn something, but I don't know.
Yeah, and my favorite thing, or one of my favorite things about what we do is the history. And if nothing else, you get to learn the history of the buildings that they're walking by and
Hmm.
talking about.
Yeah. We
And that
should
one was,
start doing it more then, I guess.
yeah, and that was really good. The one in New Orleans
Yeah.
that we had. I don't remember the tour, like the name of it or anything, but yeah. So before we get into things, today we got a couple of articles or an article. Might remember last episode when we talked about the resurfacing of the Loch Ness monster. Not to be outdone, China has its own sea monster
Yeah.
sighting. So, Tracy, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, China said, hold my beer. And apparently a 50-foot monster was spotted in a lake there. A tourist in China captured on video what she claimed was a 50-foot-long silver monster breaching the water surface of a small lake, long believed to be the home of a mysterious creature that has drawn comparisons to the Loch Ness Monster. This woman, Miss Lee from Shanghai, claimed she encountered the beast while visiting Lake, okay, hold on, I might mess some words up, Tianqi, which means heavenly lake, in Xinjiang region in northwestern China on August 31st. I am so sorry if I slaughtered that.
I think you did fine, but sounds heavenly.
Oh yeah.
You haven't seen the video. I've seen it. It was in the video, the lady is just shooting a video of the lake, and you see the ripples, and it looks almost like just a large ripple in the lake. You know how like waves will kind of just roll over themselves, and it did that and then dissipated and just kind of rolled like that.
But nothing sticking out of the water.
No, like you know the classic Nessie picture where it has like the head.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. Um, I'll put the link in the show notes and the description on YouTube. So you guys can check it for yourself, watch the video. The video's there, and draw your own conclusions. But how would you like to go to China? Take Kappa worldwide
I am so down.
and investigate.
There's so much to investigate there.
Oh yeah,
I don't know how long we'd have to be there to do it all, but I mean, we'd have to move there.
it would be a long time. Investigate the Great Wall.
Yeah, imagine that.
So,
Baby steps.
moving on. Want to give a shout out to our good friend and friend of the show, Rob Demarest. If you are in Corning, New York, on October 7th, he will be at the historic Heritage Village of the Southern Finger Lakes for the Awaken the Spirits Ghost Hunt. That'll be October 7th, 5:30 to 8 p.m. and also 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Tickets are $89. You can visit www.heritagevillagefl.org to get your tickets. Again, they are $89. Rob is an amazing investigator. He is fun to be around, full of information. If you're attending that, you're in for a good time. So definitely hit that website up, get your tickets, go spend some time with Rob, tell him the Kappa sent you, and have yourself a good time. Speaking of October 7th, we, on the other hand,
That is the same day. Okay.
we unfortunately will not be in New York hanging out with Rob. We will be in Central Florida at the Deltona Regional Library, giving a presentation, Paranormal 101, and that'll be, I want to say 11 a.m. On October 7th, about 2 hours. And again, we'll be doing a presentation, Paranormal 101. So come out to that, free. Everything we do is free. That's not knocking any like what he was doing, but it's just everything that we do.
Ooh.
No.
Sounds like shade.
No.
I'm kidding.
So that'll be free of charge at the Deltona Regional Library October 7th. And just before that, September 29th, we will be at the Camden County Public Library. I kind of blue screen for a second because I forgot to mention that the Deltona Regional Library obviously is in Deltona, Florida. The Camden County Public Library, that will be September 29th, will be in Kingsland, Georgia. We will be doing a presentation, Paranormal 101, and that will be 5 p.m.
I think you said 5:30, but
5:30.
between 5 and 5:30.
Yeah.
We'll post all of that once we figure it out for sure.
Yeah. So that'll be on all our social links. But again, in Kingsland, Georgia, at the Camden County Public Library, that'll be our second time appearing there. Good to be back. We're glad they invited us back. In for a good time then as well. After the presentation, they will have a obstacle course, like a ghost themed obstacle course. I haven't seen it, but it'll be for the kids. So good for the family. Support your local libraries. Go and read a book. Uh, so that all that again will be on our Facebook website, all that fun stuff. So without further ado, let's get into today's topics. Today's episode is just going to be a shoot from the hip, have a talk with you, just talk about a couple of things. They're going to be kind of all over the place, none really to do with the other, but just some fun talking points. And I want to get your take on it as well as your take. So hit that comment section of let me know what you think. Uh, First and foremost, it's a question that we get quite often. We'll get people asking, should they investigate their own house? So we'll get people that will message us on Facebook or they'll ask questions about something they may or may not experience in their home or whatever. I just recently, actually, I was going up to North Carolina and I got stopped of South Carolina, I think it was, and a lady was talking to me and she was telling me a couple of things that she had experienced in her house. And she said that her husband watches all of, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, or what have you, and went and bought a digital recorder and was just ready to investigate, ask questions or whatnot. And, she was against it, but he was just ready to go and find out what actually was going on. Um, so there's a short answer and a not so short answer. Um, it's up to you, really, if you want to investigate your own house. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Um, I mean, you're putting us out of work. No, but no, there's nothing wrong with it. And that was a joke. We don't charge for anything, and any team that does charge, I would find another team. But no, you just have to be prepared for what you find, whether it be good or bad,
Mhm.
or whether it be nothing. Um, so you could watch all the para shows that are on TV or on YouTube or any streaming service that you might have, and you can pick up the basics, have a digital recorder and ask questions. Um, and you just have to be prepared to either get something or not get something. You could think it's a relative or a loved one, or really hope that it's a relative or loved one, and you might get something that you might not like. You might, get something threatening. What do you do then? So it's always good to have a team or a professional on standby, on speed dial, just to call and get information, consult with, or ready to step in when you feel like you might not be able to handle it. And not saying that you couldn't. But it is really, it's based on your own mental well-being as well.
Yeah, I think you should definitely think about it and do your research and prepare for literally anything. It could be completely opposite from what you thought it was. You could expect it to be, a loved one who has passed and it be nothing. And it can be a sad letdown. So you want to just make sure you're prepared for that and keep in mind that we do investigate all these places, businesses, abandoned places, and whatnot. Keep in mind that this is your home and this is your sanctuary. And for the most part, I'm sure you just can't pick up and leave in a day if it was a worst case scenario. So, just keep that in mind. If it's something bad, I'm not going to say demonic, but if it's something bad and you're not prepared to handle it, are you going to move or do you have to stay stuck with it?
Yeah,
Those are all things to think about.
yeah, good points. So, should you investigate your own home?
Totally up to you.
Yep. There's no right or wrong answer. Just be prepared for anything, what you might or might not get. And moving on, Poltergeist. So that's a fun topic. It's a good movie too. Um, so what do you think about poltergeist? When you hear the word poltergeist,
I think of the movie, honestly, and I feel like today and age, people use it for different reasons, and it kind of confuses me.
hmm
I mean, I've been with Kappa for a little while, but I don't think that we've had any investigations that involved a poltergeist or poltergeist activity just yet. So I wouldn't say I know much about it. But when you watch these para shows, they use it so freely
hmm
that, I mean, do they even know what it is?
I think they know what it is.
Or do they just want to use it as often
Yes,
as possible because it sounds cool?
it's a buzzword.
Yeah.
So when people hear the word poltergeist, it's scary, or it can be scary. It's dramatic, because you think of doors opening, closing on their own, cabinet doors opening and shutting. Um, and that could be classified as poltergeist activity. Um, but it's not as scary as that. Your house isn't going to get sucked into a black hole, and there are no static TVs with a little girl that says they're here. Is that what she says? Or they're coming? It's
They're
been a,
here, you
yeah,
think?
it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. We should watch that.
We should watch it again, especially since October's around the corner.
Mhm.
I think you should watch horror movies the entire month.
The entire year.
Yeah. They just feel better. They feel spookier in October for some reason.
Yeah.
But I did pull up the definition of poltergeist, if you want me to read that.
Yes.
Okay, so a poltergeist is German for rumbling ghost or noisy spirit. Sorry. It is a type of ghost or spirit that is responsible for physical disturbances, such as loud noises and objects being moved or destroyed. Most claims or fictional descriptions of poltergeists show them as being capable of pinching, biting, hitting, and tripping people. They are also depicted as capable of moving or levitation of objects such as furniture and cutlery, or noises such as knocking on doors. Foul smells are also associated with poltergeist occurrences, as well as spontaneous fires and different electrical issues such as flickering lights. All that sounds so dramatic, which is probably why they use it so
Right.
often. I mean, because you think of a haunted house, you want to see things levitating, you want to see dishes flying out of the
hmm
cabinets. So automatically it's a poltergeist.
Right. And all of those things could be classified as poltergeist activity. However, as far as a paranormal investigator, when we think of the word poltergeist, what a poltergeist is doesn't involve an actual ghost. It's a it's a living being, usually a teenage girl or a right before teenage, so you're 11, 12-year-old girl
Mhm.
going through a lot of stress or hitting puberty and those hormones and the stress level is rising. And also it could be an adult, but usually the cases are of a small child or not small child, a small teen in that age frame, 11 to 13. And it's they're basically creating this entity and creating this paranormal activity around them. Usually there's a traumatic uh, instance or something that's happening that's causing and triggering this. And what we call this person is a catalyst. This activity, these hauntings, all of these experiences will only occur when your catalyst or that person is around. So, say we get called to an investigation. They tell us the claims. It has the doors opening and closing on their own. Their cabinets are opening and closing. The refrigerator door, the lights are flickering. All this stuff, your poltergeist activity. All right. Say we get there, we talk to them, we do the interviews, we talk to everyone involved. Say they leave, they go stay somewhere else or whatever, and we're investigating their home. We could be there until the sun comes up and we catch absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We can bring this evidence or lack thereof to the client, and they're like, oh no, the moment we got back home, it happened again. And sometimes, you know, spirits will kind of shy away when they don't know who is in the house. They're like, I don't know these people. They're nervous. Ghosts are people too, so they'll not really interact with us because we don't have the rapport with them yet. So we'll investigate again. Same thing. And then as soon as we got back, it happened again. Okay. So
Now that I think about it, I feel like we've had one or two investigations that were like
yeah,
that, where we didn't catch anything, but the client claimed that a lot was going on.
right. Like the one,
Right.
yeah,
You know what
in
I'm talking about.
Orlando.
Yeah.
So, and with that information, we can kind of get the idea like, okay, so maybe someone in this family would fall in the description of the catalyst. So then you want to keep the family there because when you investigate, you want to get the times and all that. When does the activity occur? Uh, Time of day, time of night, whatever. And you want to investigate during those times. So if activity is only happening around the family member or the family or a certain family member, then that's when you want to investigate. And a lot of times you'll find that, you know, this small child or this young teen, I guess I should say, is the center of it. And you know how like you uh handled that situation is really it's counseling. The best course of action for a true poltergeist case is counseling. Um, that will usually calm the activity because then you can sort out what's going on with the troubled member. Like I said, it could be a child, it could be an adult, whoever the catalyst may be. Um, there's counseling involved, therapy, maybe some type of medication because you have to keep those hormones and those emotions and the stress levels, everything that is causing this activity to occur, it has to be rectified. In the website, if you go to our glossary and you look up poltergeist, it doesn't have all of that, but I did put that counseling is the best solution for poltergeist activity. It's actually a lot less scary than the movies.
Yeah.
There's no spirits of Native Americans and black holes and
Mm-hmm.
sucking of houses into them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And before we move on, today's episode is brought to you by the Coastal Atlantic Paranormal Association. What is Kappa, you may ask? Well, we are a paranormal research team. We cover the entire East Coast, but we are based in Central Florida and Southeast Georgia. What would happen is someone would call or message the Facebook page or fill out the request help form on the website, and they will tell us about their case. Molly, our case manager, will reply and get all of their information, do an interview, assess the situation, see if there is a need for an investigation or whatever our clients may need. We will get them the best help, try to figure out what's going on with their paranormal experiences, get to the bottom of it. If it requires an investigation, we do that with no fee, no charge whatsoever. All of the travel, the investigation, the research, all of that is free of charge. We never charge our clients. And you can reach us at www.kappaparanormal.com or visit us at facebook.com/Kappa Paranormal. Again, all the consultation, all the research, all the investigation, all the services that we provide is 100% free. KappaParanormal.com. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about some black-eyed children.
Oh, you saved the worst for last.
Saved, I don't want to say the most interesting, but it is interesting. It's fascinating. I've always found myself fascinated by the black-eyed children phenomenon. So, if you're unaware of what that certain phenomenon is, picture this, if you will. You are home alone, watching TV. Let's say it's 10:30, 11 p.m. You hear a knock at the door, boom, boom, boom. And you get up, you go to the door, and you hear it again, boom, boom, boom. You look out the peephole or the window, and you just see children ranging from the ages of 10, 11, 12, uh, wearing dated clothing and piercing black voids where their eyes should be. No whites, no color other than just blackness. And you say who's there or what do you want or something. They're just asking, can let us in. Can we come in? Can we use your phone? We're lost. They'll make up any sort of excuse to help us. Someone's after us or something like that. But you can't help but notice just the deep blackness in their eyes. So that would be the black-eyed children. So many stories from history. I want to say that it goes back to the early 1900s or before, like the late 1800s. And so many people have witnessed or claim to have witnessed this very phenomenon. And you could go to any Google search or Reddit post and you can read stories for hours. One was actually a guy in his car. I want to say he was either at a shopping center or movie theater. I want to say it was a movie theater. I feel like it was a movie theater. And he was, I don't know, sitting in his car or something, and he heard a tap at the window. And there was a couple of kids saying that they needed a ride. And he noticed that their eyes were just completely black.
Hmm.
And he said no, go away, can't do that. And they insisted, like trying to open his door and everything, and he just sped off and left.
Yeah. That's
So
what I would have done.
so you wouldn't let him in?
Is that a trick question?
No, I'm serious.
Like let them in my car or my house?
Either.
None. Neither.
Well, what would happen if you did? Like, you're not the least
No
bit
one
curious.
knows.
You're not the least bit curious.
No.
Why not?
Because you just said kids would be knocking on my door
They're
at
kids.
night and they're dressed like children of the corn with black eyes. No, I'm not curious at all.
But let's say it's just a test to see, who is the nice people in the world.
And then they donate $1 million to your charity.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I
You should
don't
know the answer. You should know me by now.
I'm curious.
It's not happening.
I'm curious.
That concerns me because we live together, so I don't know. We have to talk about that.
I am. I'm a little.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I want to find a story where someone let them in. I'm sure there's got to be one, but it could be made up.
They're all dead. There's no stories. They're all dead. No one knows what happens.
They could have, like the greatest banana pudding with them, and they're like, let's just go
Of all
to.
the things.
Yeah, because who would say no to banana pudding?
I know people that don't like banana pudding.
Those people are wrong.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
But let's just say they had, whatever you might just like, oh my God, they have such and such, and you wouldn't know that they had it, but all you have to do is let them in.
Okay. I
So
guess
you would just miss out on
yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Man, let me know, you guys that are watching, listening, down in the comments.
Let them know if you would open your door for demonic children for banana
We didn't say
pudding.
demonic
They've got
children.
black eyes. Have you not seen Supernatural?
Well, what if there is shapeshifters? Are you gonna call Sam and
That's
Dean?
not making me feel any better.
Well,
Sam and Dean.
wait, what do you think they could be? Wait,
I don't know.
let's throw like let's
Maybe
throw
I wouldn't
demonic
be
to the
so.
wayside there.
Maybe if I knew what they were, I wouldn't be so afraid of them.
You could
Like
ask them.
through the window. You really
So
expect me to open the door?
no, I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
I'm not the least bit curious.
Mm-mm.
I think it's fascinating though.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's fascinating. I would like. I'm sure there's a book out there that just categorizes all of the stories and catalogs. I guess I should have said catalogs all the stories or some of the stories. And I would read that book, I think, from cover to cover because it's just interesting,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I mean, it might sound crazy, but it is. Um, I, I don't know why that specific, thing is just fascinating to me. I want to know what they are, what they want.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to know that too. I just don't want to be the one who opens the door to find out. Like, I want to hear the
That could
story of someone who opened the door.
that could change everything. You could be revolutionary, change the course of the paranormal field as we know it. The one who opened the door.
Cool.
So let me know, guys, down in the comments, what do you think? Are they extraterrestrial? Are they shapeshifters? Are they demonic? Are they inhuman? Um, or is it just fabricated and made up? I've never seen them, obviously, so I can't say if it's true or not. Have you encountered them? Have you seen the black-eyed children? If you have, let us know your stories. I
Yeah,
definitely want to
I
hear
want to
that.
hear that too.
Um, but yeah, so do you have anything else you want to touch on, talk about,
No,
share?
I'm having a good time here. This
Yeah,
is pretty cool.
yeah,
I see why you and Corey have a good time.
yeah. I'm glad to have you. This is episode 10. I'm still amazed by that. I'm so not amazed, I'm shocked. Or what is the word? I'm happy about it. Can't words. They know now. You know already. I
Yeah.
can't talk. Um, but yeah, 10 episodes strong.
Yeah, we're kind of a big deal now.
Double digits. So yeah. Um, do you guys have any? It doesn't have to be black-eyed children. It could be any paranormal experience, UFO experience, any sort of cryptid experience. Do you have anything that you would like to share with us, like us to read on the show? Send those emails to IntoTheParanormalPod@gmail.com. Visit us at Facebook.com/IntoTheParanormal. Um, look at it or look us up on Twitter, X, whatever the case may be, at Kappa Paranormal. I'm Kevin Kappa, I think, or Kappa Kevin. I'm there somewhere. It's in the show notes down below, the link to my Twitter. Um, so yeah, believe that is it. I said the Facebook, the email, Kappa, www.kappaparanormal.com, facebook.com/Kappa Paranormal. So that about wraps things up. As always, I have been Kevin Leonard. This has been Tracy Watkins, and this has been Into the Paranormal.
Mm.
Take care, guys.